Most of the fun in electric guitars for me is changing out parts, pieces, tweaking. Guitars are never done, they're always arriving. They're always being modified, tweaked, and played with. So when Guyker reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try some of their new tuners, I looked to find the most beautiful, ridiculous, and different thing I could find, and this is what I found. They are beautiful. From Guyker, and I just want to tell you what I think about them, and I'll put a link in the description down below. If you buy these, I'll get a small commission. I think they're a really fun, tweaky thing. Let's get into it. If you're in the market for like tweaking and modifying your guitars, chances are you're gonna come across Guyker. They're pretty new to the guitar scene. I don't remember them within the last 2 or 3 years. But as soon as I saw them, they're fun and funky and weird, and before I knew it, I'd filled up my cart with a whole list of things that I wanted to own. Then I whittled my cart down to just one thing I wanted to try before I drop a bunch of money, because a lot of these companies are a bit fly-by-night, and I know that if you've been in the guitar world for long enough, you've probably bought some knobs or some tuners or something that looks awesome when you're on, you know, the discovery page or the explore page on Instagram, and then when you get it in reality, it kind of sucks. So I wanted to check these out. So real quick, what's good about these? What's bad about these? And if you're in the market, should you check them out? An old 3-question gear review. So what do I like about these? They're really fun. They are incredibly easy to install. I'll show you some of the video of this. The reason I picked these and the reason I put them on this guitar was that these come with the fender post spacing for the tuners. So I had to change. There were no holes that had to be modified. These literally just dropped straight in to the guitar tuners that came on my Fender. This is a Player's Jazzmaster, but these would also work well on, it would also work on the Highway series. It would work on a lot of the new modern Fenders that have those blocky tuners with the 2 pegs on the back. So I knew that they would just immediately drop in. It took me about 15 minutes to swap the tuners on these, and so it's super easy install. The overall quality is really good. That was my biggest concern, was going to be humps in the tuners and in the gears, if they're messy gears or if they're cheap metal inside. I've been surprised that they're really smooth. Now, I'll get into that. Okay. The quality on these is really impressive. I went with the gold plating because usually gold plating is harder to do well. And I also liked that it's not gold plating in the traditional sense of bright, shiny, ridiculous gold. It's much more chill and much more low key and not quite as shiny. And so I really liked it. Now, it's a goofy thing. Eventually, if I would keep this, I would probably need to swap some other stuff over to gold. But I thought these were really cool. Now, the most obvious reason I got these was because guitars are pretty ugly to photograph. Tuners. And one of the easiest ways to tell if a marketing agency or a photographer has been taking pictures of guitars rather than real people, like real players, is when all the tuners are lined up. So this gives you that once-in-a-lifetime John Mayer moment that they're all lined up. It is really cool. It makes the guitar much more photographable. So even these that are at the top of the range for price are only $69.99. I mean, that's a really good deal if you think about like the other brands of tuners that you would have checked out. Now, the thing that is the coolest to me about Guyker is how ridiculous and fun all of the color combinations are, all the dopamine colors, so they're bright, anodized, and bright, funky colors. But with that, they have tons of options for you. You can get these tuners with different knobs, you can do different buttons, and they have all the button shapes that you would recognize. They have some Kluson looking things, they have some Grover looking things, they have vintage style looking things, and they have things that I've never seen before. So they're exciting and it's cool. It's a good time for a change. Now, they're not perfect. So let's talk about the things that I don't like as much. I think overall, their brand is over the top, and I think that's not going to be for everybody. I think guitar culture is largely concerned about traditional options, vintage correct. And so I think this is a good thing that forces people to break out into a new color, a new style, and they're cool and tweaky, and they're for the new guitar players that are not us old farts, which I'm not an old guy, but most of the guys I hang around in the music world are kind of the old guys that think that the last great band was in 1978 and blah, 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 all that stuff. These are really good quality. I don't need locking tuners. I think if your guitar does not stay in tune, locking tuners is not the answer. I think that largely locking tuners are a gimmick. With that said, it's fun to see the mechanical component of them, but as someone that I just have opinions on certain things, I prefer the luthier's knots, tying the strings, and I don't have tuning issues or tuning instability. So for me, I probably wouldn't go with the locking tuners. They do offer tuners that are not locking, but anyway. So what's bad about them? I think that they're bright. They're big, bold choices. And if you're not a big, bold choice person, or one of the things that I thought about is the negative implications of if you do wild tuners on a pretty tame guitar, then you have to start swapping a lot of other stuff. Thankfully, none of it is that expensive, but it does get to where you would have to swap a bunch of parts and knobs and stuff. But go check out Guyker's website if you're interested in any aftermarket parts, because there is so much cool stuff on there. So tying this all together, if you're in the market, if you're looking to tweak your guitar, should you check out Guyker? I think for sure. I mean, they're not that expensive. They're good quality. They are really unique options that I've not seen before. I have never seen tuners like this. Now, these tuners they're fun. They're fun, they're goofy, they're weird. They're not going to stay on this guitar, but they're very fun. But what I found is if you're doing multiple steps, like going from like standard to drop D, not the end of the world, the little tweaky stuff, but I found after a while, there's a lot more pinch required to turn these, and my hand ended up getting kind of sore after, not sore, but just, you know, it's more grip than I normally do with my left hand. In the end, I'm super happy with this. Now, Guyker, literally all they did, they did not pay me to make this video other than they gave me a set of $70 tuners. And, but anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'm Jeremy. This is Guitar Hunter. These are the Guyker locking tuners. And tell me what you think in the comments below. Would you buy one of these? And if you do get them, tag me at Jeremy the Guitar Hunter on Instagram. Tag me in a picture when you swap and tell me how it goes.